So young people coming in have a different perspective on life than a lot of other people. And this is what I've discovered about people of all generations. I know the company sends you through all of this training on different age groups. I'm going to share with you right now, real simple, how to deal with people of any age group. It all has to do with the values that people have, okay? You have values, I have values, and I have got to respect your values. Don't have to like them, don't have to understand them, but I do have to respect that you've got them. In many cases, it's as simple as just turning the binoculars the other way. You know, some of you may have kids or grandkids, and they get those little pair of green or blue binoculars, and they always seem to look through them the wrong way, don't they? And what do we do as well-intentioned parents and grandparents? We say, no, Johnny, you're doing it the wrong way, and we turn them around. They were seeing the world the way they wanted to. And we kind of changed that on them. So in many cases, it's just as simple as getting somebody to turn the binoculars the other way. The problem is, somewhere along the line, young people don't trust us the way they used to because it appears that companies don't respect us. So they come into the workplace not trusting us, and why should they? Why should they? I mean, they come into the workplace, so they're skeptical. Do you know where the bottleneck is in your organization? Go, I said, then it's probably you. Because ultimately what happens here is if the person knows it needs to be done, they'll go around that supervisor's back to get the job done right, won't they? And so in an environment of fear, you're not going to get pristine information. And quite frankly, guys, in the business you're in, you can't have any gilding. You got to get precise information. But if I'm afraid to tell you this, or, ooh, you're in another one of your moods, and I don't want to tell you that today, that can affect performance dramatically. I did a program with a pharmaceutical company, and I thought this was kind of interesting. At the head of the table is the president of this drug company. Directly to his right was the vice president of HR, not the vice president of global development, not the vice president of R&D. It was the vice president of people. Isn't that true? Vice President of people, because all of a sudden what companies have realized is that people really are what make companies work. When you have your pride campaign here, I mean, this is wonderful because one of the principles I teach with leadership is, you know what I tell people? If people are proud of what they're doing, they don't need bosses. That makes sense? If you are proud of what you're doing, you really don't need a lot of close supervision. People like to be good at what they do. People like to be proud of what they do. Is that fair? I think so. I believe that most people want to feel at the end of the day when they went home that they put in a good day's work. I don't think most people want to goof off. I believe most people want to do a good day's work. Now, example of where this worked against a company. I was working with a manufacturing company. And what they did is it was kind of a rough and tumble business. They sheared steel, so it's real loud. You had to wear the headphones and the hard hats and all of this kind of stuff. And they had 4 men that worked for them, and their titles were called lead men. This is about, I don't know, maybe 10 years ago. And what these guys did is they were really kind of like sophisticated millwrights. What their job to do, if a piece of equipment went down, they kind of know how to whack it like that, kind of hold the tongue like that, kind of whack it like that, and they could get the machine up and going. And these were all good employees. They showed up on time, they were good managers, people liked to be around them, they didn't do this, right? They didn't stir up the stuff, which a lot of people tell me is, you know, if we could just get people to stop doing this, it'd be a lot better. So they were great employees. One had been there 21 years, one had been there 18 years, and the guy 16 years, and the guy 14 years. All of a sudden, these guys are stirring up the stuff, they're showing up late, you know, they're sticking sticks in people's spokes. And it got like, what's the problem? Why are these guys become such miserable employees? Well, what these guys found out, I got somebody laughing back there, sounds like he's already been there. What these guys found out is that in 9 months, this equipment that they were so good at whacking with the hammer, holding their tongue like that, kind of kicking like that, was all going to be replaced. And all of the stuff was going to be replaced with instrumentation. Okay? It was all going to work like this. No more this, all like this. Well, here's the problem. 3 of those 4 guys couldn't really read. One of them couldn't really do numbers that well. So what did these guys realize? In 9 months, we're going to be obsolete, we're going to be laughing stocks, we're going to be just fodder. The company found it out, and I have a lot of admiration for this company and what it did. It took a retired first grade school teacher, first grade, and they paid her to do leadership training for these 4 men. And 3 times a week, they went to leadership training, and she taught these guys how to read. Now, that's an incredible investment on the part of that company. Now, most companies say, well, what the heck with them? If they can't read, we just got to get rid of them. Here's what they said. 23 years ago, when John came to work for us, he didn't have to read. He just had to do this. So as far as we're concerned, job training is teaching these guys how to read. I know you all could have been somewhere else today. I am delighted to have you include me in your Pride program. And remember this, when somebody says something to you, it means something to them. This means a lot to me. You've been a wonderful audience. God bless. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you very much.